Governor Kemp appointed an interim insurance commissioner today to serve while the current one fights charges that he stole $2 million from insurance companies. Jim Beck was charged last month in an elaborate scheme allegedly involving shell companies and fake invoices. Today, the governor named John King as the interim director. He is the Doraville police chief and a general in the Georgia National Guard. King has no experience in the insurance industry, but the governor says he doesn't think that matters.
We have to have a person of very high integrity in the current situation that we're in, and we need somebody that can lead a large organization that's very organized and can restore trust. I think John King has an impeccable record.
Instead of resigning, like the governor asked, Jim Beck suspended himself while his case unfolds. That means that the state will keep paying his $120,000 state salary and the salary for the interim commissioner at the same time.